Hey, y'all, we're about to share with you the very first interview we shot. It has been quite some time, and we've been sitting on it because it's just riddled with issues. Like, there's all these sound issues, there's all these technical issues. We were so in the go before you're ready attitude, and we want to make sure you see it because we want you to see our process. I even had a wardrobe malfunction at the last minute and I got to wear Angela's beautiful jumpsuit that was really not so beautiful on me.
And on top of that, we only had April for a short amount of time. My good friend April Billingsley was in LA from Atlanta, and her story is just so beautiful that we said to ourselves, we can't pass this up. So even though we have all these things that we are self-conscious about, we're still going to share it with you. For me, the most embarrassing is that our name used to be The Big Plot Twist, and it became The Big Twist in basically right before we shot this. So I can't get it out right. And you'll see it in the bloopers. Anyway, hope you enjoy it.
We're so happy for you to grow with us. Thank you so much. Here you go. Hi, welcome to The Big Twist. I am Anna Carini.
And
yes. Hello.
Hi, welcome to Plot Twist. I'm Angela.
Nope, The Big Twist. Welcome to The Big Twist. I am Anna Carini. This is Angela Trevino, and this is a podcast where we talk to creatives about the big plot twists in their lives.
And we have as our guest here, my friend April Billingsley. She is a wonderful actress who has been on shows like Will Trent and The Summer I Turned Pretty.
I'm so happy to be here.
Can you start by telling us about your journey in this crazy industry of ours? How did you get started?
I took my first acting class when I was 5 years old.
And young.
It was in Atlanta, and I booked my first paid production at 10. It was a production of The Scarlet Letter at the 14th Street Playhouse in Atlanta. And then when I did The Scarlet Letter, and they had to drive me downtown every night after school, and my grades just plummeted, and they were like, great, no more of that for you. So when I turned 18 and could not figure out what else I wanted to go to college for or what else I wanted to do with my life, I was like, great, I'm going to be an actor. And they were really happy about that.
That's fantastic.
I mean, they weren't really happy, in case you didn't get that.
I didn't.
I love little rebellious April.
I got it now.
For me, acting is about understanding who this human being is and what shaped them and why they make the decisions they do or why they make the choices they make, so that and why they even speak the way they speak. So when you step into being that person, you are not trying to be them. You understand them so completely. And it also, there's an element of creativity to it in that you can bring things that you think are interesting. I always say you have to find your character fascinating. And if you don't find your character fascinating, keep working.
Along those lines, which are some of your most favorite characters that you've gotten to play in the many roles you've gotten to do?
Well, I was in this movie Las Vegas. That's the one where I got to play opposite Oscar winner Kevin Kline. There were a bunch of other Oscar winners in the movie. And my role in that just was terribly fun because my character got to be drunk and just very spontaneous, but also she was just so in need of love. Mm-hmm. And so it was kind of this comedic performance, but you end up really, well, I hope at least, people end up caring about her in a way that they don't necessarily expect. And it's not like I have a lot of scenes, but first off, that was just a ridiculous experience because one of my scenes, literally, I have a scene with Kevin Kline and sitting in the background of my scene, just so that they can be there in the background, are Michael Douglas, Morgan Freeman.
They're background actors. Robert De Niro, they're background actors.
Not intimidating at all.
They're sitting because they have to be there, and because that's the continuity, and they're all such professionals, so of course they're going to do it. But I'm just like, I'd had a moment on that set where I was just like, what is happening? this can't be real. But that was one of my favorite things I ever did, because honestly, and the director even said to me, he said that like he wasn't expecting this role to be what it was, that he didn't expect it to actually be touching, and that it turned out to be that way. And so it became like a bigger part of the plot than it was sort of before.
I find that's the most fun, right? When you get something and you think it's going to be one thing, but you work collaboratively and find it to be more than what anyone originally thought. And I love directors that will let you do that, because a lot of them are so much like, it's time is money. This is what we said. This is what this is. Let's just go. But someone who's going to be open to working with you and let you find those different things.
Yeah, no, it was incredible. It was incredible for that to happen on such a big budget set, because I mean, and just to be fair, I'm a working actor. I'm not like super famous yet, like,
There you go.
But and I've had plenty of experiences where I've been cut out. Have had plenty of experiences that were not that, right? So not only was that like this really big budget thing, but it was also this really beautiful experience and felt really collaborative. And so that is definitely one of my favorite roles I did. And the other one would be The Dark Red, which is an independent movie I did with a bunch of friends of mine. That was just a delightful experience. And my character had a really cool arc in that. She goes from sort of this very intimidated, like scared, sort of keeps to herself type, I'm messed up in the head person, to this just, Sarah Connor style badass. And so that was just
the Dark Red is a sci-fi movie, right? Or kind of sci-fi
it's more
thriller?
of a psychological thriller, I would say.
Thriller.
But I guess I don't know if that's, I don't know why I would call it sci-fi.
The reason why I bring it up is because you love genre. I know you love genre. So I wanted you to talk a little bit about that. What is it about genre stories that you're really drawn to, whether it's fantasy, sci-fi, supernatural?
Oh, that's a great question. Okay, guys. Okay, that's a great question. Let me think. I think that just stems from the little kid in me, the 5-year-old, 6-year-old that was like, saw the cool things on TV that were magic. I want to be part of that magic. That stuff that doesn't exist. I delight in that. And I also really love sci-fi, especially sci-fi that has a positive outlook for the future. And also, I think it's really interesting because sometimes when you tell stories in a genre format, you're able to communicate ideas to a section of the population that wouldn't be open to them if it was set in real world.
Absolutely.
I hear that a lot about sci-fi.
And I do feel like stories, I know I'm quoting someone for this and I don't know who I'm quoting, so I apologize. Look it up later. But stories change hearts and minds where no argument can. And I think that sci-fi particularly really does well with that.
Suited for that. Absolutely.
It really
that's why I love it too.
Yeah, right. It kind of elevates the other. It can, or like people that have been othered. It can show a story that people can get on board with that they maybe would not have in a different genre.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
You can make a statement about the world without it feeling preachy. Because you're just like, oh, this is set in the near future. This is not our world.
Yeah, it's a different world. And this fantasy can work the same way. Yeah, it's not our world. It's a different world.
Right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I love hearing how much fun you have too. Like, this is great to hear how much fun you have on set. Like what you're like the roles that you've really enjoyed and what a good time you're having.
I have fun in my auditions too, which I do a lot more of than getting to be on set, at least right now.
Okay, actually, that's something I want to dive into. Can you speak about the ratio of auditions versus bookings and what feels normal? Like, because I want listeners to get a sense of the batting average that you should be having as a working creative, right? That it's actually a lot lower than people probably think, because maybe they're getting discouraged a little too easily.
So I know you know this, Angela. I don't know if you know this, but I also teach actors.
Okay, great.
And I tell my students that they should celebrate everything. So getting an audition is a win. Why? Because 5,000 actors might have been submitted and they picked 50 to see, and they wanted to see you. So that's a win, right? Then, getting a callback, getting an avail check, all of that, it's a win because the numbers are so astronomical. Really getting success in this business with as many people as want to do it, it's very much like you can have talent, but you also have to have so much dedication and then a lot of luck too.
Yeah.
And speaking of actual numbers, I don't want to say actual numbers because I'm afraid I'll get it wrong. Right. For me, if I'm if I tell my reps, hey, send me out for smaller stuff, I'm going to have a lot higher booking ratio than going out for guest stars, recurring guest stars, even, series regulars that I may be reading for. I haven't booked a series regular yet. I've auditioned for several. So, and I think I've tested for one, right? So, and that just means getting further along in the process. So when you step up a level, it's like your ratio can go down, and actually the number of auditions you get can become less too, because there's not as many of those roles that even exist. So I mean, I think it really depends, I think, on what level you're at, and also whether you're known or not, because certain producers may be looking at things like social media following or what your recent, excitement in the media is, or whatever that is. They may be looking for someone that already has some sort of eyes on them. So I really think, I just tell people, you have to do this because you love it, period. Even if you do get lucky and you have a lot of success when you're younger, you probably won't keep doing it unless you love it. And even sometimes big stars, there's so much pressure on them for them to be the one that gets the success at the box office, whatnot. So it's really a thing that there's so much rejection. I know I'm kind of being a little muddy here, but there's so much rejection that it's really a thing that you have to love it and find a way to keep loving it, because it's easy to get discouraged and think about the rejection and not the wins. Mm-hmm. Stack your proof, not your doubt.
Stack your proof, not your doubt.
I love that. That's such great. A positive attitude. And I think, along those lines, you, as someone who knows you, I know that you find the beauty and the delight in the craft itself, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you can dive a little deeper into that. Like, how do you continue to tap into that sense of joy, right? Because it is hard. It takes practice. And, sometimes I feel like there's all these distractions, but then you get to set and you can tune it all out.
So you have to remember your real reason for doing it, which for me, I want more people to feel seen. I want more people in the world to feel heard, to feel connected. And so I feel like I have somewhat of a calling for it, but there are so many times when I do get stressed out, or I do say, I put so much into this, or, I'm doing all this stuff and I'm putting so much time and energy into this thing, or I flew out for this audition and I need it to be good now. Oof. And the second that you need it to be good, it stops being fun. You lose the delight. You lose the heart behind it. And then suddenly you need somebody to like you. They sense that desperation and they're like, we don't know if we want to work with her. Right. And to be fair, you could still not get the job, even if you were in the bestest state of mind. So I do a lot of meditation. I do a lot of mindfulness work, just reminding myself. Sometimes it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget because you get caught up in the go, and this has to work, and money, whatnot. And I think that that's important too, to have some sort of side job so you're not so stressed about money that you don't need it so much. So basically, met my husband, got married, delighted, and I thought for a little while that I was going to have a different life, right? So we all went through the pandemic and all of that. So the pandemic hit, and at the time, my husband and I were like, we're going to let's have kids, right? And I tried to start a whole nother company. I was going to start the skincare company, but I learned cosmetic chemistry. I got really into it.
Amazing.
Turns out that I like the creativity of the creating things more than I liked the running the business side of things and trying to figure that out. But what happened is I thought I was going to do that and maybe just keep acting for fun, but like that was it. And I thought we were going to raise kids, and we couldn't have kids. And that was its own long journey until we finally said, okay, I'm going to let go of this dream and move on. And what's for me next, right? What's for me next? That this thing that I was so certain was going to be my life. And I was planning on keeping acting, but I thought that I was going to be a mom. And I wasn't. And I went through a whole grieving process. And I really reconnected. I had quit teaching for a little while to work on the skincare company. So I decided I needed to go back to teaching. I needed to have some way to give back to people, to share. I know it's not the same, but some way to share that nurturing energy, to help, and I refocused on my acting career and I was like, you know what? And I'm going to have more money because kids are really expensive. And what I had to do is I had to let go of what I thought would be and go through that grieving process of what I was so sure was going to happen in order to truly accept what is. And to realize that what is and where my life is going is beautiful, and I have this amazing life, and I had to go through that process. And what it did for me is it wasn't just that one thing that I thought I was going to have kids. It's anything that I thought or expected or think this thing is going to happen, and then it doesn't. And instead of going to that place of, well, everything sucks now, I hate my life, to go, maybe it's not worse. Maybe it's actually better. You guys want to know this crazy thing, and I'm writing a story about it. Don't worry. So maybe one day you guys will see the movie. But I had donated eggs when I was younger in LA. And I was told, I did 2 cycles. One of them I don't know anything about, but the other one I was told didn't work because technology at the time was brand new technology, freezing just eggs, and the unfreezing didn't work or whatnot. But I put myself in 23andMe because, like, who knows? Why not? I'd love to connect with,
might as well,
in case one of these humans exists. And, and I don't even know the details. I don't know whether it actually worked for anyone, right? And a family reached out to me who has she's 13 now. She was 12 at the time. And now I get to talk to her and be a part of her life. And and now I get to know her and like be friends with her. And I went out with her family to Disney for her 13th birthday. And and my family, I know. So
look at Anna's face.
Holy cow.
Story, so I'm not as shocked. But
holy cow.
This is a priceless reaction.
Yeah. So you had it. Well, I'm not going to, you have your experience. I'm not going to say what
But it's really exciting. Like, to me, that's exciting and amazing. And I do have a biological daughter. Yes. And yes. And it's amazing. Like, and it's not what I thought it would be, but it's really beautiful and really amazing. And I got to refocus on acting and my career, and I get to travel more. I get to do things like I've just come out to LA to, visit Angela and other friends and do things out here for a few days. So, and just spend more time with my husband and not be, I know being a mother can really be a burden on women nowadays. And I don't have to be tired all the time. I can sleep in, on weekends.
What a twist!
I know.
What a twist!
I think what you're speaking to is what a lot of us feel, right? Where it's, there are a lot of pros and cons to every life, to every path. And you can either choose to focus on the cons or you can choose to focus on the pros. Right. And I think that mind shift that you did, right, to go from this is what I'm lacking to this is what I have, and this is what I'm going to value and treasure is so beautiful. And yeah, I think it makes you so resilient. And it's one of the things I love about you as a friend,
I love that about you too.
I love what you said. What did you said that you had to go from letting go of what you were so certain would be to be able to accept
and
enjoy what is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I did a meditation once where I was like, I'm going to let go of everything that I think I want in my life. I'm going to let go of, even if I think I want to be an actor, I'm just going to completely let go of everything. I'm going to see what comes to my mind. And that was when I really got back into being excited about acting again, because when I did that meditation, I came out of it and I was like, yeah, I want to do sci-fi. And I want what that little kid in me wanted, to be a part of the magic and be part of these stories that are changing hearts and minds, and really reconnecting with that instead of focusing on and getting excited about, I want to get like this little co-star here, or die again on this show, die again on another show, but like getting excited about like, okay, and I do get excited for those characters too, but like remembering that I'm in it for the bigger stories.
So along those lines, is there a particular story that you feel defines you as a creative or as a person?
Okay, I don't know if it's so much as a creative, but as a person, when I was in high school, I got held up at gunpoint. Now, and I was with like some friends of mine, and what we had done, we had gone downtown in Atlanta. I was doing a lot of rock climbing at the time. I don't know, random. And I remember, because we were with these two skinny, like hipster guys, and I remember grabbing one of them, and I was like, I'd been working out, and I remember grabbing one of them because I got scared on the way back to the car, and I didn't know why. I got these weird goosebumps, right? And I grabbed it, and I was like, I'm kind of scared. And this guy looks at me and he goes, you could beat me up. I was like, oh, now I'm more scared. Anyway, we get back to the car and the gun's on the other side of the car, and they pull it up, and I immediately, like, I don't know what is wrong with me, y'all, but I get put in scary situations and I turn crazy. Like, I don't stop talking. Like, it's weird. I've taken a couple self-defense classes, but like, I really know nothing, y'all, but I'm really good at pretending like I am confident, like I know things, which can help me very much as an actor and sometimes get me in trouble in life. But anyway, and sometimes it can be helpful. In this case, I was like, I remember I like crouched down, and I was gonna like, cause they were coming at me like this, and I was gonna like, hit one guy in the balls. I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. Yes. So I was gonna like take my fist on the right and hit him in the balls. Then I was gonna turn around, cause I'd heard last week, like literally in my head, all I remember is like, somebody had told me last week that it didn't take that much pressure to break collarbones.
Someone had just told you that.
Wow. And you were convinced you were going to break a collarbone. I love that.
Shreddy.
The first guy like backs up, goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. And the second guy, and I go to do this. And because they believed that I knew I had no idea what I was doing. And even though, like I said, I could beat him up, like, y'all, for the people who aren't actually watching this, I am 5'2", and like, I'm petite. I'm small. Anyway.
Wait, they had guns, right?
Not all of them. No, the gun was on the other side of the car. So at this point, I've just forgotten that it exists.
Oh my goodness.
How were you not scared of the gun?
I was more concerned about the credit card, and then suddenly I was like, because they were coming towards me because I was throwing the credit card down my pants, and I was like, oh my God, don't let him take you to a second location.
Yes, that's real.
That is
we
real.
all were taught that, right? Don't let them take you to a second location.
They were like, what's that you're stuffing down your pants? And I was just like, oh my God, they're coming to get me. And I also had my car key. So they're like, okay, just give us your wallet and your phone, give us your wallet. So I was like, okay. So I gave them, so I give them my phone and I'm like, it's only $2.50. And so I start bargaining. It's only $2.50. I was like, as they started back up, I was like, wait. That car key doesn't even go to the car. I only have one car key. And I start like going off on him, like trying to explain to him that he needs to give me my car key back because like, I'm going to be, I don't even know how I would get another car key. Like, how do you this time? Like, I'm going to, in my head, I'm going to lose my whole car. So they actually take my car key out and hand it back to my friend.
No.
For real. The guys on the other side of the car just gave them all their stuff, right?
Like normal people would when they're being held at gunpoint.
Event on your side.
Yeah.
Event over
Very different on your side.
And so they're like, let's just go. This is the whole reason I picked this story to tell you guys, because as they ran off, my first instinct was to yell after them. I yelled after them. I said, I would have been friends with you if I'd met you at a party.
Wow.
That's what you yelled.
That's
what I yelled
April.
to the people that
Do you
robbed
know
me.
why? Do you remember like what your instinct?
I just see everybody as people.
I think it also speaks to you see the good in people. Is that maybe a part of it too?
I think acting is sort of a practice in the radical acceptance of all that is humanity.
I love that quote.
I love that too.
Thanks.
It's great.
And
Profound.
I don't think that we can really get into character and play people and represent humanity in the way that actors are called to do without sort of looking at our darker sides and saying, why is that? Everyone's human. We all have these different drives and whatnot. What drove them to do that is just that they maybe had different life experiences than me. So
That's really profound.
That's a great story to
absolutely.
give us an insight into who you are. And thank God you're okay.
yeah.
And nothing happened.
Yeah.
I have one more question for you. So what is a parting thought or quote that you want to leave listeners with? Like, is there maybe some lesson that you wish your acting students would take away out of this session? Or is there something that people tend to miss that you wish they would have found out sooner in their career?
Well, I tell everyone, find who's doing it and ask questions. You know, you don't have to learn everything. You don't have to know everything. Find someone who's doing the thing that you want to do and study what they did. You don't necessarily need to do what they do. We all have our own path, but you're not alone.
And you're certainly not alone. You have a lot of friends that love you dearly.
And there are people who want to help you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it goes back to the optimism that you evinced in that story, right? Like, you see the good in people. Yes, there's plenty of good people.
Even the person that's trying to rob you might just help you in the end. Full circle.
Thank you so
Thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it, April.
My absolute pleasure, you guys.
And where do we follow you? Your socials, if you want.
Instagram, April_Billingsley.
Great.
I think that's the best place.
All right. I want to keep up with April's career. April_Billingsley on Instagram. A beautiful story from our guest, April Billingsley, of twisting and turning to get where she is now. And I am so moved and so touched by what she shared. And I really appreciate her opening up to us and joining us.
Absolutely. She has a really zen attitude that I've always admired about her, that, you know, the going can get so tough and she just never loses her resolve to get ahead and keeps going. You know, she's one of the most resilient people that I know. And it truly does take that to succeed in this industry. Something she said really resonated with me, which is this idea that you might encounter success when you're young, and you have to realize that that's not necessarily going to last, right? Like, I used to think that you had just one big break. But in actuality, no, you're laughing for a reason.
I used to think that too.
Because that is the BS that you're fed, right? You're fed this, story, this fantasy that you're going to be this unknown, and some big hotshot producer or agent or director or writer is going to pluck you out of obscurity and all of a sudden give you the career of your dreams. And that might happen for the 1%. But for the 99%, there's a series of small, little, incremental wins. And sometimes you have a small win, and then you go back to square one, and then you have another win, and then you go back to square one. So it is very much a roller coaster ride, and not just this like straight, out of nowhere parabola. It's not an exponential curve. It is very much up and down.
Well, and I love what April just told us, because this is what we want to focus on in the podcast, is talking about this, right? Yeah. This part of it. And I feel like she just gave us such a great example and a great story of that. It makes me think of, I'm a little obsessed with Miley Cyrus lately. I don't know why. I love her voice. I think she's fantastic. And her song, The Climb, where she's like, there's always going to be another mountain. There's always going to be another hill. These are the lyrics. She's like, you're never going to get there. It's the journey. It's the climb. It's as soon as you get to the top, there's going to be another one. There's going to be something else. And that was something I didn't understand when I was younger either. I just thought I was I very much learned this was not a linear career. But you kept thinking, I got this one thing that's going to lead me to this next thing. It's going to lead me to this next thing. And there is the saying, work begets work. And that is true. But that doesn't necessarily mean everything is going to fall into place and be this linear climb, and all of a sudden you're just there and where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And that can be tough to navigate.
Yeah. And I think another thing I loved about her journey was just this idea of relaxing into the life you have and enjoying it. Yeah. I'll give you an example from my own life. When I was younger, I would not decorate my place, because I was thinking to myself, why would I decorate this crappy, small, one-bedroom apartment when one day I'm going to have a house? One day I'm going to have a much nicer place that I can actually spend some time decorating. And then when I got to my 30s, I was like, wait a minute, I want to enjoy the space that I inhabit. I don't want to just be living for the future, right? So then I shifted my whole outlook, and we're actually filming this podcast in my cute little
Your beautifully decorated space. I hope
you find it cute.
It is cute.
But, I spent a lot of time decorating it, and that makes me really happy. I have these cute plants and whatnot. But there is something to be said about that, learning to enjoy the journey.
I'm just laughing because we're so opposite. Oh, I hit the mic. Sorry. I'm laughing because we're so opposite. Like I was like, I knew I was going to be an actor from a young age. And so I was just like, I'm going to be so transient. I'm never going to live in the same place for very long. I'm going to make it beautiful while I'm there. It's my sanctuary. It's my all the drama in my life is going to be in my professional life. That's where I want it. I'm an actor. I want the drama to be there, not in my personal life. My home is going to be a sacred space. And I've lived in 2 apartments in my entire career. So I have not been nearly as transient as I thought I would be.
And your place is also very cute, I may add.
Thank you.
We have that in common. We care about our space.
Interior design is a hobby.
What I'm saying is that that wasn't always me.
No,
I think
I'm sorry.
Both April and I had that in common in our journeys, where when we were younger, we kept thinking once I get to this, then I will achieve this X amount of happiness and I will be content. And you have to learn to be content with what you have and treasure what you have. And I think
and still keep
that
striving.
Really resonated with
if
me.
You want. But
yeah, absolutely. You can have both, but I think the foundation of the pyramid needs to be enjoying where you're at right now. And then that will then help you climb greater heights. But if you're not enjoying where you're at right now, if you're not finding writing or directing or acting or whatever creative endeavor you are undertaking enjoyable, then that is problem number one.
On that note, thank you very much for joining us. We love having you here. Please follow us on the social handles below and hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow, and we love being here with you.
Appreciate it. Love you guys.
Want to see you more. Thank you.